Hey guys, Ash Trades here. This is the first part of a series I will be making where I will document myself trying to get funded with $50,000 on TopStep. I already have a series like this on my channel, but hopefully this one will be a bit better. I will try to improve it a bit. So basically, I'll be documenting myself trading. I'll show my journal and why I take the trades I take and go over psychology and etc. Hopefully you will follow along on my journey to get funded with $50,000 using ICT concepts. Let's get straight into the video and let me show you the first trade I've taken. Now we are looking at my trading journal here, and as you can see, I've already made this series here before with all these trades here, and I've documented myself doing it on YouTube. So if you want to watch this, you can go back and watch it on my channel. But basically, I'm starting this series over because Tradovate, they had some problems on this day here, so the P&L didn't carry over this day. So this trade here, it didn't count. So basically, this trade, my account went into profits again. I went up 110 or $11 if we round it up, but this trade here didn't count, so I was actually still in drawdown with $200. So Tradovate, they sent me an email explaining that I could get a free reset. So I took the free reset because I thought it was unfair that this trade didn't count because I actually took it and I won it. So I reset my account and I've only taken this trade here. So now my account balance is up $370. So let me explain this trade I took right here and let's get this series going. Here I have a screenshot of my trade. It was in the silver bullet PM hour. So let's look at the trade here. So this is the trade I took. I made around 7.5 pips. So let's get into the charts and let me explain this trade I took right here and made $370 on it. Now we're on the charts. We are on Monday 24th of July where I took my trade, and here's my trade over here, but I would like to explain why I took this trade so you can get a bit of hindsight and maybe learn something from this. First of all, I'll start looking at the regular trading hours. You can toggle this here in the bottom right corner. So regular trading hours is only for the New York session, 4 p.m. to New York open at 9:30, in between these two candles here. So this is the open range gap. What I'm looking for is open range gaps that can correlate with what price is gonna do. So we can see we had a gap here, and we also had a gap over here that overlaps, but I don't want to draw that right now. And we also had a gap down here. So these are the two open range gaps I would like to use for this trade. So let's go to the electronic trading hours again. So now we're on the electronic trading hours and we don't have the gaps anymore, but we have marked them out so we know where roughly they are. Let's go to the 1 p.m. here where I started looking for my trade, and let's go to the 5-minute time frame. I didn't really have a bias this day if I remember correctly. We had filled the gap on the weekly time frame that we were targeting last week, I think. Now my bias was like we could both go up and down. I would just like to look for price action and see how price reacts in certain areas. So what I do here is mark out between 1 and 12 p.m. here, the highs and lows. So we have a low right here, the lunch low, and we have our lunch high right here. So we can also mark some other highs and lows out for targets of liquidity. We also have a high over here from Friday, so previous day high right here. And we also had a high over here. We also could look to target. And if we look for sell side liquidity, we can see that we have a lot down here. We have a lot of equal lows right here. So this is a huge draw on liquidity in my opinion. And we also have a fair value gap right here. So ideally, what I would like to see is that once we have went up and taken out all of the buy side liquidity right here and maybe go into the open range gap, then I would like to see price reverse, do a market structure shift, and then go for the lows here and maybe the fair value gap. So let's look at what price did. Now we have a rough estimate of what we're looking for. We want to see price go up, take out buy side liquidity, and then do a reversal down and target the sell side liquidity down here. So we didn't take out the lunch low right here. We made it untouched. So we have more sell side liquidity here, which we should remember. So now we took out the lunch high. So now you can look for shorts, and let's go to the 1 minute time frame and see if we see a break of structure. So we can enter, and we can see that the silver bullet PM hour, it starts right here from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So now we went up to the open range gap we had marked out, and we took out all the buy side liquidity. So now these blue lines here doesn't count anymore. We've now taken a lot of buy side liquidity, and now if you have watched the ICT 22 mentorship, then you'll know that we'll look for a reversal down to the sell side liquidity. We haven't seen a break of structure yet. So right here we have a break of structure. The candle right here at 218, it closed below the swing low right here. So now we can say that we have a valid break of structure, and now we can look for our entry. And I entered right around right here on the break of structure of the candle. I just wanted to get a good early entry, so I didn't have to wait for a fair value gap to get back into. So I just took the early entry on the break of structures on this candle. I got entered at 88.25 right here, and I put my stop above this high we created over here with a 4.5 pip stop loss. What I targeted was actually down here, but I didn't let the trade run because I had to do something and I had to walk away from the charts. I just wanted to target the lows right here from the lunch hour. So let's see how the trade went. And we hit it in the silver bullet hour. So a quick and nice trade. I made 7.5 pips or $370 as you've seen. So this was the first trade I've taken as a new challenge. So we are currently in $370 profit. I really like this trade. It took out some nice buy side liquidity, some really nice targets, and we went up to an open range gap. And then we saw that we had a lot of sell side liquidity resting right here. Basically, we saw this get taken out. We saw a break of structure. Could have entered on a fair value gap, but I just entered on the break of structure. And then I targeted the low hanging fruit, which was the lunch low right here. You could also have targeted the lows over here if you wanted to wait a bit more, as price went to the target later, right here. So a really nice trade in my opinion. I followed my strategy. I didn't enter on a fair value gap, but I just entered on the break of structure, which is also fine sometimes. You get a good early entry and you don't have to wait for the fair value gap to be traded into again. If you want to see my journal, here's how it looks. We took out Friday's high, did a market structure shift or break of structure, targeted the sell side liquidity plus the open range gap we had down here, which we didn't go into, but we went into the fair value gap. And yeah, I wrote down very nice trade. I was very confident in the setup and it went to target very fast, which is very nice when you're a trader, so you don't have to sit and wait and be a bit nervous. So here's how my current TopStep account is looking. I got the reset, so I've only taken one trade, so I have 100% profit. And this is how my current balance is looking right here. And I forgot to say that you can now get 20% off with the link in the description. So hopefully you enjoyed this first part of the new series I'll be making with the reset account. It was Ash Trades here. Please remember to like and subscribe. I'm out. Bye.